It's back to school time. I'm sure a lot of you, all of you in my primary, are back in school. And for you little ones, you might not be going to school, but Heavenly Father sent us to earth to learn, and we go to school to learn. So even if you're not in school, we're going to celebrate learning because learning is part of life. I love learning. Heavenly Father loves learning, and we can learn about Him through song. And so we're going to celebrate learning through our singing time today. My teacher gave me a list of things that I need to pack in my backpack for after school. And as a side note, we got lots of fun comments from junior primary that I have a backpack, my backpack is this color, and I just was excited for them. I say, really? Do you see what's on my backpack? When they said their backpack had rockets on it, I said, what's on my backpack? Dinosaurs? Because my backpack's red. Do you know what color my backpack is? Green. And so they were all really excited. I didn't try to stamp down too many of their comments. But then I directed them quickly to my game. I say, well, right here, my teacher said I have to gather some supplies. And I have just the outline of them. And I was hoping you could help me with them, with our singing time today. And right here, I'm going to show you, I have this. I bought this a long time ago. It's actually a magnetic spinner. It has a magnet and it spins. There's some different designs. You could find something else. You could just randomly pick one, but I thought this was a good investment. I really like it. But do your own, or you can even do a digital one if you wanted, with spinners of different things. Oh, and then other times in the past, I've just taped the material up there. But for today, I did the shadow, and I have my magnetic spinner, and I choose a stick. I say, can you, Sally, can you come up and give our pencil a gentle spin, and we'll see what we get. And so they spin, and I say, can you, that one? Okay, can you look in my backpack and see if you can find something that matches that? Look in my backpack. And I found the scissors. Oh yes, that does match. Now scissors are for chopping. What are we gonna chop in singing time? We're gonna chop some notes. How do we do that? When we sing our songs, and these are all program songs we are reviewing today. Think a sacred song. We're gonna chop that. Think a sacred song. In music, that's called staccato. Can you say staccato? Staccato, very good. So we're gonna sing this whole song staccato. And it's pretty fun because it's normally supposed to be sung legato, long and flowy, but we're going to sing it very short. And so for this one, we were doing Think a Sacred Song, which is very short. So think a sacred song, the words will give you power, etc. And it's been a while since we've sang some of these songs, so I just got a TV installed in my primary room. So I just post the words digitally for the songs we sang. But if you don't have that, I also just put a poster board of the words, or in a different video, I think. Here, let me show you. Or in the past, my favorite way to post songs was to just take computer paper, just copy paper from the library, and I tape them together, and I just write the lyrics. I put magnets on the back, and then that way I can just put the lyrics up really fast and really easily, and then it folds up to file away for later. Okay, so that one, and then we spin again. So I pick a stick, spin again, and let me just go through what each of these were. So this one was a pack of markers, and this was the only one I did something different in junior than senior. For junior primary, I had the teachers, I handed out markers to all of the teachers for enough markers for their class ahead of time. And so then when they were ready, when I say, oh, teachers, give everyone a marker, and they can do it in 10 seconds or less, I say, okay, we're gonna take our markers and we're gonna write a letter. And, I don't have it on the board, but what I did first was, hey, do you know these letters? And I went up to the chalkboard and I took my chalk and I wrote a letter, and they would say, S, and then I'd write the next letter and they'd say Y. And so it was a really good organized call and response. And the letters see if I can show right here my plan. Let's see. Do you see the letters right there? The S, Y, T, S, F. I wrote this one on one row and this right below it. So we had all the letters ready, and we're going to trace these letters as we sing. And it was seek the Lord early. So it's, I'll seek the Lord early while in my youth, and he will tell me to, and he will help me. He will help me to know the truth. And so we just traced all the letters on the chalkboard, and I like that. But for senior primary, I thought that was a little too easy because I have a big advanced senior primary. And so for senior primary, I did this. I drew 7 boxes on the board, and at the time, I did not have time to write these words underneath. This was the plan, but what I did is I told the teachers, I say, for this next song, or just have a super singer in mind, so if I call for volunteers, then you will just send someone up. And we were going really fast, so I said, teachers, send up a super singer. And some of the bigger classes, I had them send up 2 super singers until I had 7 children ready to go. And I said, all right, it's school time. Pay attention to this word I'm going to give you because I have an assignment with that word. This would be Lord, light, scriptures, prayer, prophet, commandments and love, Jesus. So you can write them, but I just told them verbally. I didn't even write it up there. And I said, you need to draw a picture of that to the best of your ability, however you interpret it. And the only trick is you have to be done with your picture by the end of the song. And so we all sing Seek the Lord Early. And we looked at all their pictures and they did such a great job. And I say, okay, let's sing it one more time with our primary pictures. And then we sang it one more time with I'll seek the Lord early, and light I chose as truth. So I thought they were going to do a light bulb, but she actually drew a sun because the truth of the gospel is light. And these are all keywords in the song, and it worked out great. Okay. This one, the ruler. So then they pick a ruler. And I put a little piece of masking tape down on the floor on one end. And I say, I need a helper. And I purposely chose someone with short legs. And we were practicing singing This Little Light of Mine. And I had them stand at the masking tape on one end. And I say, every time we sing the word shine, you're going to take a step forward. The Sunbeams had an extraordinarily hard time with that. So I would actually help them. I say this, because they might just start walking. And so I'd kind of stop them with my hand and say, I'd kind of hold them, say, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. And then I'd open my hand so they could take a step. And then I'd pop, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. And let it go. And then at the end it's fun with, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. And in senior primary, they liked it too. I had one rambunctious boy who wanted to jump it, and I let him do that. So then at the end, I say, okay, freeze, and we're gonna measure. And I start here, and I say, every time you see the ruler flip, you need to count with me. So I say, okay, 1, 2, 3, and we're all counting together, and it was really fun. So I had one child do it for verse 1, a different child do it for verse 2, and then a third volunteer do it for verse 3. The next one, and for calculator. So my teacher told me to bring a calculator, and so we are going to calculate something. This is Follow the Prophet, and we have the Joseph Smith verse. Junior primary, when we sing this song, I want you to calculate how many times we sing the word follow. And for senior primary, I want you to calculate how many times we sing the word prophet. A lot of times I'll put my hands behind my back and I will give them the answer. I say, okay, show me by your fingers what's the answer. And they all raise however many fingers is the answer. And then I say, oh, for prophet, the answer is 7. And and then whoever gets it right is great. And junior primary, I ask, how many did you get? How many did you get? And we might sing it again together so we could all count together since they're still practicing with counting. Pencil. For this one, again, I handed out pencils to all the teachers. I think it's fun to do the number 2 Ticonderogas, but any pencil. And the teachers had these ahead of time, and I say, okay, hand out a pencil to everyone. We are going to conduct. And I tell everyone, stand up, you're the conductors. And we're gonna go down, in, out, up. Either hand you do, down, in, out, up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. Are your hands following my hands? Faith is knowing the sun will rise, lighting each new day. I didn't have a lot of time to pause or freeze, but I think it would have been good to maybe freeze, say, oh, are you following me? For senior primary, we did both verses, but for the second verse, I say, okay, now that we have the countdown, you can add some flourish. You can make it loopy or add feeling, but just make sure you're still going down, in, out, up, down, in, out, up. And then we'll sing the second verse. The last thing I have, yep, we did everything I think, except my eraser. My teacher told me to bring an eraser, and this eraser, you see, it says for big mistakes. This eraser reminds me of Jesus because he can erase any mistake we have. Big ones, medium ones, small ones, and I'm grateful for that in my life, that he can erase our mistakes and loves us. So for this one, it's teach me to walk in the light, and we are going to erase the word teach. So I'd say, me to walk in the light of his love, me to pray to my Father above, etc. So every time I say teach, we don't say that word. And I think that's it. So a fun back to school activity.